Greetings. I'm trying to hide that light. So this one too. Greetings, family. Oops. This is Wanda. This is Diaspora Connect. You are very welcome. You are very welcome to the live stream. Decided to do a live today. And let's see. Belinda, greeting. Belinda Davenport, oh my, greetings. Selmont04, hi, greetings. Welcome to the live stream. To find you for weeks. Oh, really, Belinda? You've been trying to find me for weeks. Oh, weeks. Wow. My channel probably shadow banned, y'all. Just make sure you still subscribe. This is an impromptu live. You're very welcome to the live stream. Welcome. Don't forget to thumbs up the live stream. And yeah, you're very welcome. I am doing well. I've been kind of low key. Trying to get my emotions together after this whole situation that happened in Tanzania. So, but everything appears to be back to normal on the outskirt, on the outside. The way things look, it appears to be back to normal. So, getting back into the swing of doing lives and videos. If everyone can hear me okay, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me okay, you are very welcome to the live stream. This is very impromptu, family. I was just in the mood. I said, let me do a live stream and see how it goes. So, okay. Welcome, Arvin. Welcome, Arvin Autry. Jamal Watkins, welcome. Thank you. You are very welcome to my live stream. I am in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. I am a native to New Jersey, born and raised in Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. Left America back in 2020 and relocated to Tanzania, resettled, and just survived the elections, demonstrations, and internet cuts for 7 days straight. And so everything appears to be kind of back to normal on the out, from physically what you can see. But based on the stuff online, there are some things going on. But I'll be minding my own business, just doing my own thing. So I try to stay out of their political stuff. But we, the diaspora, many of us here, and we are safe. I haven't heard that any of us had any problems or anything. Webster, hello. Welcome. Karibu Sana family 7 in the live stream. Thumbs up. How's everybody doing? I'm doing well. I'm safe. I survived the election demonstrations, internet cut for 7 days. And we had to, it's kind of like a little group of us that live in the same area. And we ate together when people was running, because see, the internet was cut, so we couldn't do anything with banks or anything. So we had to share everything, food, water. We did stock up on stuff, but of course we thought it was going to be like 3 or 4 days. So people started running out of stuff. Like I was running low on water. I was running low on my internet, to put money on my internet. So everybody just started helping each other. We just started chipping in, and we ate together, we shared food. Each person cooked like one dish, and so we did a lot of stuff together to weather through the internet shutdown. So I stumbled into your page, was driving at the moment. Okay, Belinda, you are welcome. Wanted to email you, but didn't remember your page name. I know that's right, Belinda. You got to, sis. You got to get out. Told you the beast is everywhere. I see you leaving. No, I'm not leaving. I was just saying that because I was thinking about it, but I got a download and the Father was telling me to sit put. So I'm going to stay put, but just stay low key, because everywhere we go, like you said, the beast system is everywhere, but it's going to be worse in some places. So what it doesn't make sense for me to go to, because I'm not going back to the US. I was going to go to another African country, but then I end up going to Botswana, Namibia, or whatever, and then stuff break out there because revolution is going on all across Africa. So it's nowhere we can run. So happy you are well. Thank you, Belinda. Yeah, all is well. I was a little nervous because I've been here 5 years and I've never experienced anything like that before. Even though with us, we didn't know what was going on because we were locked down and the internet was off. I didn't know what was going on until we turned the internet back on and we started seeing everything that was going on. But we had no clue about. We just knew that we were locked down. It was a curfew. We had a curfew. But with all the Black Americans or the diaspora that's here in Tanzania, nobody had any issues from what I heard. Everybody was checking in with each other. Everybody was safe. Everybody was sharing food. Everybody was like eating together, making sure folks had internet on because you couldn't transfer money from our banks to our phone because the internet was off. So everybody was well. Nobody was, nothing happened. Everybody was just staying low key, basically. So, yeah. But I was considering, like right after the internet came back on, I'm like, maybe I should be considering going to another country. But then when I was thinking that, I heard a voice, and I feel like it's the Father was speaking to me. He was like, where you going? This gonna be, where you think you going? This is everywhere. This gonna be everywhere. And so that's what Webster said, the beast system is going to be everywhere. It is going to be everywhere. But in some places, it is going to be worse than others. America is the seat of the beast. And America's judgment, her divine judgment, is total destruction. So definitely, I'm not going back to America. Definitely, yeah. I'll go somewhere else, but it won't be America. And I won't go anywhere where people don't look like me. I have to come places where people are African. I don't want to go with no Asians, no other white people, no Arabs, no Indians, nobody like that. I want to be around African people who look like me. We have more of a chance to survive if things pop off. Like, for example, let me give y'all an example of what happened. Okay, so when all this stuff popped off, right, the airport was shut down and Mzungus was racing to get out of here. The airport was full of white people sleeping in the airport for like a day or two until the airport will open back up. But nobody Black was there. All the Black people just stayed in their house and stayed low key until everything calmed down. Then we came out. So nothing happened to us. We stayed and mind our own Black business. We stayed inside. But the white people were so scared that they raced to get out because they know they white. And when stuff happened and you in an African country, you stand out. So they was sleeping in the airport. And it just further confirmed why it's important to try to go places where you blend in, because wherever you go, things could pop off. It could be a hurricane. It could be an earthquake. It could be a natural disaster. It could be a flood. It could be a civil unrest or organized chaos. Whatever might happen, at least you're around people who look like you and you can kind of blend in and try to, you don't need this extra issue that you are Black in a white country, like the Ukraine, when things popped off in the Ukraine and how they was treating the Africans. So you don't want to be in a place like that where you don't look like everybody, because when things get tight, people get scared, they're going to look at you and start trying to take their frustrations out on you. Talk about your title, Last Days for the Wicked, not the Righteous. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's true. It is for the wicked. That's right. But these are the last days for all of us, though. These are the last days. So even for the righteous, it's going to be rough for us too. It's not going to be like unto death, right? But it's going to be, it's what you call, it's going to be tribulation. It's going to be Jacob's trouble. So it's going to be rough for us. We're going to be running. We're going to be moving. We're going to be ducking and dodging. We're going to be doing that too as the righteous. We're just going to be protected. And of course, we got to use wisdom. We got to use wisdom, of course. But yeah, it's going to be rough for everybody. As you can see, there are righteous people in America, but look what even the righteous, some of them got going through what's going on in America. And the good thing about over here is none of us, we were all together praying, following the scriptures, praying to the Father, and we was protected. None of us, nothing happened to none of us. It's a good amount of us over here. Nothing happened to us. So yes, we were afraid, and yes, things popped off, but things could pop off wherever you go. It's things popping off in Kenya, right? It's a bunch of us in Kenya. The same thing that happened here in Tanzania happened in Kenya, but it happened while our people was over there, and they were still over there. So things are going to happen in different places. You just got to know what to do. It's easier. Believe me, it's easier when you look like everybody than you, because even the locals will tell you what to do. They'll give you advice. Oh, elections coming up. We knew it was coming up, and we knew usually during election time it could be civil unrest for almost every African country. Elections can be kind of unrest. So we already knew to shop. We already knew to, stock up on water and food and lay low. We already knew that, but we just didn't know it was going to be 7 days, and we didn't know it was going to be. Well, we knew the internet. When we heard the internet get cut, but we didn't know it was going to be so long. So, but everybody was fine. So. And when I did that video, I was kind of scared. I was like, oh my gosh, do I need to leave? I was panicking. Basically, I was panicking. But then, like I said, I heard a voice, which was the Father. I know when he speaks to me, because I know it wasn't me, because I was in a panic mode, right? So when I calmed down, that's when I said the voice was like, where you think you go? Where you think you're going? Because everywhere you go, it's going to be civil unrest or organized chaos. Where are you going? Sit still. So I said, I'm going to sit still and ride it out with my TZ, with my Tanzanians. I'm going to ride it out with my Tanzanians. So, but yeah, otherwise it's, people ask me, some people was like, did you do your research on the country? I did. This is the first time something like this has ever happened in this country. Even Tanzanians was like, this has never happened before. This is new to them too. This is a peaceful country, and the history of the country is very peaceful. So this is something new, and I've lived here for 5 years, and nothing like this has ever happened. So this is a new experience for me. Even after 5 years, this is a very new experience for me. So, but I survived, and I'm okay. Nothing, it's a group of us, so we're fine. We're okay. We're a little panicked because we never experienced nothing like this. But then at the same time, we get desensitized in America because we see and hear death all the time. So in America, it's really not normal, but we live there. So we're desensitized to murder and shootings and all that stuff. So we hear it, it's like no big deal. But being here and it happens like this in one big situation, we get, a little nervous because we just get a little nervous. But then again, we have had civil unrest or organized chaos in America before, civil rights, all that stuff. So, and marches and demonstrations and ICE. I mean, we got all that going on. So, yeah. Shalom, Damien. Shalom. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Karibu Sana, Karibuni. You're very welcome. That's what that means. Welcome. You're very welcome to the channel in Swahili. So, but yeah, I am fine. There are 10 people in the room. Thank you so much for jumping in, family. Don't forget to thumbs up the live stream. This is an impromptu live. So yeah, I just decided to do a live and just share that we're okay here. It's a bunch of us where I live. It's a group of us that live together, and we ate together. We did like a picnic. So each person made a dish because our food was running low. We stocked up, but it's hard to have a lot of food here because the fruit and vegetables, everything is so fresh and it goes bad in like 3 days. So we had rice, we had beans, we had greens, like we had food that would sustain us. So what we did was we would have like a potluck, and we would like sit in our little compound where we live, and we would share food. We had like a picnic. We played games. One of my neighbors had like Uno cards, and she had like we didn't play dominoes, but she had this game called Mexican something. You use dominoes to play it. So we played little games, and we spent a lot of time together because the internet was out. So it's almost like we was off grid. The only thing is we had electricity and we had water, but we just didn't have any kind of internet. Even our phones weren't working well. Like when we tried to call or we tried to text, they weren't working well. So the good thing is I was around a group of people And I was thinking, imagine if I was by myself, because before I moved here, I lived another place 2 years ago, and that was in another area by myself. I was the only foreigner with locals. And the locals, they take care of you too, but I feel safer being more around, Americans, and we all together. So we were fine. We were just a little, we was, because, we don't know how things go when it comes to the way things are done here, and the unrest or the demonstrations. We don't know how that goes because we're foreigners. So we just laid low, mind our own Black business, stayed inside until they said we can go outside. It's the planet stays. Yeah, yeah. Why thoughts? Welcome. Why thoughts one? Welcome, welcome. Is it why thoughts? Little thought. All thoughts one. Oh, welcome. I got glasses on and still can't see. But no, I ain't gonna say that. I had glasses, but these glasses have Blu-ray blocking, and sometimes it's weird because sometimes this Blu-ray blocking affects how some of the letters look for me. So um I don't have to click on this. Okay. So yeah, but we were all well. I reached out to a bunch of the Black Americans that I know here. I know a lot of people. I had all these, like, the phone was out, right? When the phone would come in and go out. The internet would come in and go out, come in and go out, and then I would have all these texts. I would have all these emails from all these different people. Hey, I'm in so and so. I'm good. Are you safe? Hey, I'm like, everybody was sending messages. People was trying to call people. The phone wasn't working. The internet was in and out. I would get a message when the internet came on. I went on my community tab and I put a quick message. Hey, we're safe. It's a group of us together. We're safe. And then after I put that message, it shut back down. So it was like coming on and off, on and off. But whenever it came on, we called each other. We responded to emails. Everybody that I know was fine. I haven't heard that nothing happened to anybody, but we was low key. We did go shopping. We did stay inside of our compound. We didn't go out. Thank you. Thank you for the super you sent me. It's a blessing to see you, sister. Stay up. The greater. Yes. Thank you so much, Audrey. Thank you. Arvin Audrey. Arvin Audrey. Thank you so much. But Jesus said to us, God, power lives in us. If we okay, we can raise, yes, heal, yes. So we shouldn't be afraid. Yes, Webster, exact Almighty is that's right. I had to remember that because at that time when it was going on, we was hearing gunshots. I thought it was firecrackers. At first, I thought it was firecrackers, but no, it was gunshots. We was hearing gunshots. It wasn't close. It was distant, but we was still hearing it. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so it was just, I was kind of panicked in a way, but not, I felt anxiety, I would say. I felt anxiety. And I was like, do I need to be trying to get out of here? Like I was like, I wasn't sure because I've never experienced nothing like that here in America. We hear gunshots. What we gonna do? We gonna hit the floor. We gonna drop on the floor. We know what to do because we we become desensitized to gunshots and killings in America. It's normal, but when you leave and go somewhere else, it's different because you don't know that the way things are being done is different. And in Africa is so many more Africans. It's like I could be wrong, but like 70 million Tanzanians, something like that, 7 point something million. I don't know. It's a lot. And majority of the Africans on the continent are young. They like, I would say 35 and under, majority of them. So it's a lot of them. So it's like, it's just, yeah, it could be a little, but we knew what to do. We stayed low key. And the fact that we were all together, that helped out a lot. That we were all together. So Okay. I'm trying to. Yeah, so that helped us. That helped out a lot. That we were all together. So we were together every day. We was talking to. We was outside. We did like a picnic because we have chairs, and so because we'll have meetings sometimes because we group together for the Sabbath, the seventh day or the Sabbath. We group together. So we had chairs. And we had like a picnic. So we was okay. And everybody else I talked to, the Black Americans or the diaspora, they was all said they all was okay. So now we got a different perspective, family. We got a perspective like we got to get this together. We got to work together. We got to love each other. We got to take care of each other because at the end of the day, we got physically. Of course, we have our creator, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have him. He's watching over us. He's protecting us. He's providing. But we don't have anybody. That gave me a realization that we as Black Americans, we don't have nobody to do nothing to help us. We don't have no country, no governments, no nothing. Some people have their countries that look out for them. We don't have that. If something was to go down, the embassy wouldn't be trying to come get us. They'd be going to get the Mzungus. So at the end of the day, we are all we got. This was a realization for us that we got to put the pettiness aside. We got to put the pettiness aside and we got to love each other. We got to feed each other. We got to clothe each other. We got to make sure people got a roof over their head. Make sure that's what we did this week. We did that this week, family. We literally fed each other. When people was low on rice, people had beans, some people had potatoes, some people had greens, some people had whatever, and we shared everything. Some people had water, juice, whatever. We shared everything. Nobody went without. It didn't matter if they didn't have it. Nobody went without. Everybody was eating together. That's how we got to do it. That's how we got to do it, especially family, when we decide to come out of America. We got to do that in America as well because of the SNAP and the EPT and the stamps and the this, that. We gonna have to do that inside, but we doing it outside as well. This gave us a good opportunity to practice. Unbeknownst to us, we had to practice. We had to put it in place. My electricity was running low because I was thinking that it was only going to be for like 3 days. So I only had electricity for like 3 or 4 days. Well, when day 4 came, I had a little bit left, and I'm thinking, and we was down for 7 days. So I was like, I don't know if my electricity is going to last. That means I'm going to be in the dark because I didn't have any money on my phone because I couldn't transfer. The internet wasn't working, and I couldn't transfer money from my bank to my phone. So a lady that lived, one of our sisters that lived with us, she put money on my electricity for me. She put money on my electricity and she gave me water because I was running low on water. I had water, but it was a rumor. They were saying that don't cook with the water because something's going on with the water. Something happened with the water. We didn't know if it was true or not, but we had to take it seriously. Also, we don't drink the water. So I have water to drink, but I do cook with it when I boil water. If I want to do like a tea, or if I want to cook something, on the stove, I do use the sink water. And they were saying we shouldn't do it. So I needed more water. So she gave me some. So we just shared and we helped each other through this whole process, which is why, it helped us out. It showed me a lot how important it is for us to group together, to work together, to help each other. Yeah, we did it. And pettiness aside, when you in situations like that, pettiness go out the window. I don't care who feelings was hurt. I don't care who don't like each other. We gonna take care of each other. We gonna make sure everybody got a roof, everybody got food, everybody got water, everybody got electricity. Everybody has everything that they need, and that's what we did. And so this showed me that this is what we have to do if we are outside of America and an emergency comes up. We have to group together. We have to help each other. Maybe we don't live together, close together, but we need to work on when it's not any demonstrations or civil unrest or organized chaos, whatever. When that's not going on, we need to be making plans to have a place where we can be together in case of emergencies. where we could share, because all that we need is in our community, but we have to be willing to share with each other. So, a lot of people are like, Black people can't work together and we can't do nothing. Get in a situation like what we went through. Get in a situation like what we went through for the those last few days from October 28th to November 3rd. You get in a situation like that, and believe me, you're gonna be willing to work with each other, because you don't know what's going on outside. You're a foreigner in a land, something's going on, stuff popping off. You don't know what's going on. You just got each other, and you gonna look out for each other, because we family at the end of the day. Whether we beefing, whether we falling out, it don't matter. You put all that out the window when it comes to your life. So that taught me a lot, and that further confirms that we are all we got, family. We are literally all we got, because if something was to really happen bad, y'all know the embassy wouldn't do nothing for us. They gave a PSA. They put a little warning on their website. Oh, U.S. citizens, stay inside, stay in your house, don't be in big crowds. They stuff we was already doing, stuff we already knew. They did put it out, but we was doing it before they even put it out, because we have locals that was telling us that we should go ahead and go shopping and get stuff and plan on being in the house. They had already told us this. So we already knew to do this. We were already prepared. So that was a good thing, but we didn't anticipate it being so long. We didn't anticipate being, locked down for so long. So, but we did help each other. So all praises to our Father, our Maker. He protected us. And like I said, it's a bunch of us here in different areas, locations. Some people didn't even have any kind of, they didn't even know really what was going on. Like in certain areas, we have some people in certain other areas that nothing even happened. The only thing they knew is the internet got cut off. And then that's it. They was like, something got to be going on because the internet ain't working. But in their area, in the little city they lived in, nothing was going on. So there were some areas where nothing was popping off. It was mainly the city areas, like the big city areas, or the maybe international areas or something like that. Those areas was popping, but the smaller like cities and stuff, they didn't have nothing going on. That's further also confirmed that we don't need to be in those cities. That's in America or outside of America. Wherever we decide to go, we don't need to be in those cities. I am like 20 minutes outside the city. So I'm still close enough to experience some stuff, but I'm not that close. I'm still out. So I'm kind of glad that we were out at least 20 minutes from the city where all the stuff was popping off at, where the main stuff was popping off at, the city areas. Some people left. There were some African Americans that was here. They did leave. They went to Kenya. So some of them did get to go. I could have done that, but I was like, I wasn't sure. That's the only thing, is like when you get in situations and things start happening, it's like you're not really sure. So you don't know, should I stay or should I go? And for me, I feel more comfortable staying in one place. But then again, I didn't know if the place I did where we were would be impacted about with all this, but I knew we are outside the city, so I figured it wouldn't be as bad with us. That's why it's so good to be outside of the city, not in the city of Dar es Salaam, where a lot of stuff happened. I think stuff happened in Dar es Salaam, Arusha, in Mbeya, Mwanza, in those city areas. So it's always good to be outside the city. This further confirms why it's good to be outside the city. And so it's confirming it to me for sure that it's best to be outside the city, as far away as you can. As far away as you can, within reason, because some people like me, I kind of like to be by a city, but not so far away, because a lot of things are in the city, like the clinic I be going to, my eye doctor, the dentist I go to is in the city. A lot of stuff that I shop, like the mall, that's in the city. certain restaurants I like to go to, that's in the city. So it's a catch-22 because you want to be out, but then you out so far that you can't get to the things that you like. Like if you get like bored and you want to go to the city, you don't want to be so far that it's going to take you 30 to 40 minutes just to get to the city. So that's the only catch. May I have your email? Yes, you may. Let me put it in here. I did early, but let me put it in here for you. Yes, you may. Diaspora Connect 0 at gmail.com. Okay, Diaspora Connect 0 at gmail.com. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's my email, Belinda. I put it right in there. But so that's the only thing. And then, you know, when you leave America and you go to these different countries, right? Anything could pop off. That's one thing that the Father was saying to me, like, things are going to be going on everywhere. You don't want to, like people say, you don't want to jump out of the frying pan into the fire. I don't feel like I did that by leaving America to come here, because I felt like America was the fire for me, because I didn't like the changes that are occurring there. And then also all the all the killings and stuff like that. I don't like the guns and the shooting, and everybody got guns, and our men getting shot. Like it was just all that going on. I was just ready to go. I couldn't. I felt like was really bad. I needed to go. So when I came here, it's known to be a peaceful country. So I didn't feel like I was jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. But when this happened, I was like, I was like, do I need to be leaving? What's going on? You know, I was that first initial panic when the internet came back up and I started seeing everything. I was just like, I was like, wow, I did not know what was, because we don't know what be going on, because we don't speak the language. So we don't know what be going on. And so I was just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, so it was initial little anxiety, fear, but it subsided because I started relaxed. I started praying and seeking the face of the Father. I'm like, Father, I know you brought me here for a reason. I know you have a purpose. Do I need, and then I was just thinking, I was just thinking, maybe I need to leave. And then that's when I heard, where you going? That's what I heard, like that. Like, I'm like, where you going? It's going to be everywhere. You don't want to, just, so I was like, okay, I'll stay put then. So that was my decision, because when I did that video about looking for another place, I was still feeling kind of panicky. But then after that, I was like, well, yeah, I'll stay put. Because I don't want to be racing to be trying to travel all around the continent, because it's different than, the continent is different. And I really don't want to be going to all these different borders. And because Trump is making enemies of so many people, I don't know, we might get to a border of a country and they see that passport and they start looking at me like upside my head. They start looking at me like side-eyed because of him, even though we all know that Black people don't control that in America. Black people don't got nothing to do with this stuff going on. But sometimes people can't separate the passport from the person. They associate you with that country, with that passport, because you are a citizen and you got that passport, even though we being mistreated ourselves. But that don't mean nothing to some people. And then I was thinking about that. Like, I really don't want to be getting caught up in no borders with issues, trying to try, I don't want to be stuck between no border situation. That's another reason why I was like, I'm going to stay put, because I don't want to be trying to go somewhere and they be like, nah, you can't, we're going to do you like how America's doing our people or something like that. I don't want to be in a situation like that. So, yeah, but it was I was going through a lot of emotional thinking. And then the good thing is it's a group of us here. So we all got to level each other out, make sure anybody making no crazy impulsive decisions to do this, because sometimes when you're traveling on the continent through these different borders, you can get different responses. It could be a situation where you sitting up in somebody's border and they won't let you in for any reason. Like when you go to these different borders, they can say no to you. They don't have to let you in their country. So I don't want to leave and then be somewhere stuck at somebody's border. And then, I just don't want to go through that. So I'd rather stay home where I'm comfortable, have everything I need. And it's my life here. Doing business and I'm here. I got stuff here. So I was like, I'm just going to stay put and ride it out with the Tanzanians. Because for the most part, it is a peaceful country. But time is changing. Times are changing and the beast is rising. And it's going to be revolutions all around the world. It's going to be like natural disasters. It's going to be hurricanes. It's going to be flooding. And I don't want to be moving around like that during these times. Look what, Jamaica's going through, the Philippines. Different countries are having disasters and stuff. So stuff is happening everywhere. And of course, America for me, family, is not an option. Going back to America for me is not an option. So it's just too much for me. It's too much for me. I can't get with I can't get with the white supremacy stuff. Thank you for getting ready to take that leap of faith. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for you can do it too, everybody. Everybody can do it. It's different. It can be kind of scary because you leaving where you was born and raised to come to a place you've never been. But the good thing is if you come to a place with other Americans here, other Black Americans here, that we can walk you through, we can show you our lives, we can see that we at peace, everything is okay. Not that things won't happen, things won't pop off, but there are measures in place. We do have measures in place for when something happens, and even locals, they advise us on a lot of things. You shouldn't do this. Don't go there. I do this for you. This. They give us a lot of good advice and they help us out a lot. I was something else, Webster, in my younger years. Bet you were something else. I was something in my younger years, but I was always a good person. I've always been a caring person. I've always been a kind of person that liked to help people. So yeah, I worked at a hospital. I worked at a law firm. I used to help people get. I used to help people get Social Security disability. I used to work for a law firm, and I used to help them get. I was like a paralegal, so I used to do the paperwork and help them get approved for Social Security disability. I used to help like veterans get their their disability, they're veterans, so like 100%. So I've always had jobs where I help people. I worked at a hospital, I worked there, and then I also worked for a finance company. So yeah, I've had some good experiences in work. So a lot of the experiences that I've got working those certain jobs have made me the person I am today, with having the courage to leave the West and come to a country by myself, and then to come here and then to help others with information, advice, and let them know that they can do it too. We live normal lives, just like it's not all like huts and stuff like that. Like if you can see, I live in a regular apartment. We have all regular stuff. Every now and then we have lights out, electricity goes out, but you can get like solar lamps. Like a brother from the States had got me this. It's a good solar lamp. So you can get like solar lamps, which a lot of people who do what you call it, van life, and they do all that. They have a lot of the stuff that we use here. Like they do the solar stuff. They got the generators. They got the stoves. All that stuff you can use here. So when the electricity goes out, you'll have that stuff. But yeah, I wanted to do this live and have you guys see that We are well here. All is well. And I was a bit shaken up. I ain't gonna lie. I was a bit shaken up, y'all. Because I was like, what's happening? Because we was hearing gunshots. So I didn't know what was going on. But then when the news came on, when the internet came on, we started seeing everything. It was like, wow. Yeah, it's really sad. Yeah. But we had no idea because everything is in Swahili. So we don't know Swahili like that unless a local is telling us some stuff that's going on, and nobody was really saying nothing, telling us anything. Relate to say, bless your heart. Yeah. We didn't know nothing that was going on. We didn't know nothing. We just know we was laying low. And we were fine, but I just was feeling kind of down for the country because it's a peaceful country, it's a peaceful country. But then I start looking on the internet, it's like everywhere, all over the continent, the Gen Zs they rising up. Gen Zs is rising up everywhere. So what can you do? What can you do but try to manage wherever you decide to go, whether you stay in the States? Some people want to stay, but I think for me, the white supremacy stuff, I can't handle that, fam. I can't handle the white supremacy. That is something that's worse to me than anything that I would deal with. Even this situation that happened here, I could pretty much tolerate because I know people ain't hunting me. People not hunting me because I'm Black. But in the States, these people be looking for you just because you're Black. I can't live like that. I can't live like that. Like, that's the worst to me because I don't feel safe nowhere in America with people that's evil like that. But here you don't have to worry about that happening because you look like everybody. You just have other stuff that you have to be aware of that could pop off. So, and it's usually in the city. So that's why it's always good to try to find, rural areas outside the city because that's the area that's people are concentrated in. So even when this beast system takes effect and it goes all over the world, on the continent, it's mainly just going to be in the developed areas, which is in the city. But if you outside the city, then it would be better because you won't really be impacted by that beast system because the infrastructure outside of the cities is not set up it's not sustained because they don't have satellites out there. It's rural area. The Google don't even have the Google map don't even show some of them places out there. So that would be the best place for you to be outside the main cities. How can I handle the white supremacists? What you said. How can I handle the white supremacists? But my teenagers are oblivious and they think, mine too, Brule, Desire, me too. They really do not know how. Yes, same thing. Good afternoon, Don Blake. Good afternoon. Welcome. I know. I know that's the same with me. I left the US to come here for my son. He's in his 20s to save his life, family. Y'all know the young men are the prime, our men and our boys are the prime targets. I came here to save his life and he didn't want to leave. So he's still there. I'm over here. I'm like, I'm leaving because of you, mainly. But yeah, these young people, they haven't watched enough slave movies. They haven't watched enough Roots and Queen, and they don't know the history, the true hateful history of America. They don't really understand that. They think, and Tony, my son used to be like, Mama, he's like, Mama, is you prejudiced? I was like, I don't trust them people. What are you talking about? Like, he don't see it. Prime target, and he wants to stay. Yep, that's exactly mine too. They don't see it. We have sheltered them. They don't see it. Were you ever married in the yes? What happened? I know relationships are. Yeah, I was married in the US for 13 years. I got married at 29, 20. I got married at 27. I got married at 27 and I got divorced at 40. 3. Yeah, I was married for like 13 years. Yeah. So, but yeah, that didn't work because yeah, the responsibility and the yeah, I was trying, I was the one that was kind of taking care of everything because the ex he couldn't keep a job, he couldn't, and at 25 when we got it was okay. And then at 30, it was like, okay, he's still trying to. But then when I got in my 40s, I was like, I can't keep doing this. It was too much. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that didn't work. So but yeah, so I had to leave America because I can't tolerate the race, the race soldiers. I think I could tolerate everything else in America, but the race soldiers is what drove me, is what made me want to leave. Especially when they was killing the young black boys. I couldn't take it. It was like every day, every day, every day, I was seeing somebody get shot, young boys, young. It was doing something to me. It was killing me on the inside. I had to go. I had to go. I read divorce rate is 70%. Yeah, it's high in the US. Hey Don, shalom. Shalom. Seeing me. Habari Johnny to you too. Habari Zajioni. Yes, Trayvon Martin, everybody. It was what's the young boy? The young boy that they shot, that they he was 12 and they said he looked like a man. It was just too much for me, y'all. I was just it was killing me on the inside, literally. It was killing me on the inside. I had to leave. I had to go. So I was like, you know what? CME says, I was like, I take my chances outside and I try to make a new life. I can't stay here and watch how people getting yeah, I can't do it. And then I had a son too, so it affected me extra. I was living in paranoid fear. I was living in paranoid fear in America. I was living like it was just it's not it wasn't healthy for me to be that scary. I had too much anxiety. I was scared to do anything. I was scared to go out at night. I was uh wouldn't go out after, like I was living like in fear. I just had to leave. I had to leave. That's why when I came over to Tanzania, I fell in love with it because I'm like, man, I feel so safe here. I feel so much peace here, and I feel freedom here. I really feel like that here. I didn't feel the anxiety every single day like I was in America, and then I also was living in Colorado, so I was feeling fear even before then, but I was living in Colorado, and it's not that many black people there, so I was really, and they don't bother you there. I didn't have a lot of issues there. I had more issues when I lived in the South. I lived in Atlanta. I had more issues living in that southern down south more with these white people because they terrible down south. But when I moved to Colorado, it wasn't as bad. But I didn't at that point I didn't really trust them. I didn't trust these people because they be pretending like they're your friend. They be pretending that they like you. And boy, I don't be trusting that and get me off somewhere and chop me up in little pieces. Yeah, nah, I ain't trust these people like that. So it was time to go. So that's when I said, you know what? I'm gonna come back to my roots. I'm from the continent. I'm gonna come back and try to get to know the continent, to travel the continent, to visit and meet the continental Africans and see how they are and everything. And when I came here, my first visit was to Ghana. I went to Ghana, but then when I moved here, you in Texas? We're like, yeah, honey, the South is too much for me. Texas is there, that's too much. You down there with the serial killer. Oh, they say it's a serial killer, the one with the bodies in the bayou. Yeah, I can't deal with that, fam. But when I came here and I came to Tanzania, and I'm like, these people are so beautiful. Africans have a beautiful spirit. Now they'll rise up on you if you their spirit is pure, they're kind, but if you push them, they will rise up on you. And that's the same with us. I think we're good people. I think we, for the most part, we kind. But if you push us to the limit, we will rage on you. They the same way. We'll rage on you in a minute if you push us. They will do the same thing. They can be nice and they can be kind, but you push them in the corner and keep pushing them, they will rage. They will rise up on you. Pull up about bodies out of the bio. Don't pull up about 16 bodies out of the bio. Yeah, this I just yes it yeah. I was America when I left in 2020. Y'all, was America out. I was so ready to leave. I was so excited to leave. I was super excited to leave. I was looking forward to just living in Africa. I was just wanted to leave so bad because I was tired of it. I got tired of living there. Like I wanted to leave. I wanted to see the world, and I want to live in another country. I didn't want to live back in America. I just did stop. I just really stopped liking America. Okay, Dawn, you was born in Colorado and raised in California. They have pulled up. You're smart for making the move, Wanda. Don Blank, thank you. Don Blake, thank you. I was just desiring. I had a desire to, and I did receive a spiritual calling to. Received the spiritual awakening of truth that I'm from Africa, which I already knew based on the transatlantic slave trade, but I got a personal message, spiritual message from the Father, like your home is Africa, it's not America. I already was not wanting to be there, but when I heard that in my spirit, I was like, oh, I'm leaving for sure. I get this. This is spiritual. I get a spiritual confirmation that because I was already ready to leave America. I just never liked America, family. I didn't. I know I was born and raised in it. I know it's kind of weird, but I never really liked it, to be honest. I really hated America. I really did. Because you know why? It's because when I was younger, I used to watch the slave movies. I know in school, in middle school, I think, they was showing us like Roots and Queen. And when I watched that movie, it just did something to me. I just started not liking white people. I just started really not liking them. And I was like, these people are evil the way they did us. Like I just had a grudge against these people from as a child. And I just did not like America for how they treated us. I always felt like that, even as a child. How they treated us, I didn't like it. And so I was just ready to go. I was ready to go. You are smart for making the move. We are not made. We are not mad. Oh, Don Blake, you look like I'm at peace. I'm so at peace. I'm so at peace. We all have to find where we feel peace at. I didn't want to spend like the latter end of my life being in a country that I don't feel I never felt welcome in America. Like I know that it don't matter what other people think about us because we was born there, right? But I just wanted to live in a place where I at least felt accepted. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to live in a place where I wasn't looked at as go back to Africa, you a lower class. You know, I want to live somewhere else where I wasn't treated that way. So I took a leap of faith and I'm like, I'm gonna try Africa because I know we look like them. So I'm like, I know that I'm not gonna be treated how I'm treated in America when it comes to being afraid to go to places, sundown, this, sundown, that. Can't take the bus, places scared to take the bus or the train because, you know, or mainly the bus is stopped because somebody, you might come up missing. Like, I don't have to worry about none of that living amongst people who look like me, who I look like them. So that's why I was super excited to live in Africa. I just wanted to live around people. I want to live around Black people. I want to live around African people. And living in America was not enough to live in. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. That was Black when I was growing up. Yeah, we had a lot of like Dominicans and Haitians. Like we had different people, but it was mainly Black, but it still was different because we was only in a certain area. But when we had to go to work or we had to go to school, we was around white people and you still was treated. I just was tired of that. I wanted to just live around people, everybody that looked like me. I just wanted to see what it feels like to not be discriminated against or not looked down on and stuff like that. So I just wanted to live and see what it felt like. I never was able to see what that felt like. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a chance. I know I'm in my 50s because I'm in my 50s when I left, and I had just turned 50, and I was like, I'm going to take a chance. I'm just going to live. I just want to see what it feel like in my spirit. I want to see how I feel inside. And who family, when I say I fell in love with Africa, they say I definitely do not feel. Oh, yeah, Brulette. Yeah, I never felt welcomed in America. Jamal. Yeah, Jamal. Welcome. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas. Oh, he's talking to Brulette. Yeah. So y'all, when I got here to Tanzania, well, first of all, my first visit was to Ghana. When I went to Ghana, they treated me so special. They were everywhere I went. They was like, welcome home, welcome home. They treated me so. One thing I can say about Africans, though, they got hospitality when it comes to, and yeah, it might be for the money, but still, it's nice when you ain't never. It is nice to feel that when you never experienced that. Ghana was nice. When I went to Ghana, it was nice. They would make me feel so welcome. Everywhere I went, they was like, welcome home. They know who we are. The Ghanaians know who we are. Like some of the other countries, they don't really like. When I first got to Tanzania, they didn't really know who we are. You got to kind of tell them who we are. But the Ghanaians and the Nigerians, like certain people, they know who we are. A lot of the West African people, they know who we are. The East African people, they had, in 2020, we had to kind of tell them who we are, what happened to us and stuff like that. And I think Kenyans know who we are. The Kenyans know who we are, and the Ghanaians, they know, because a lot of the Kenyans and Ghanaians are in America. They know who we are. But the Ghanaians, they treated me so good. They treated me, well, when I was in Ghana, the only thing is, I knew that my tribe wasn't in Ghana. I was low-key trying to find my tribe. And no, I never did, DNA. I never did DNA. What do you think about Ethiopia or South Africa? Well, let me finish this. So I wanted to live around people. Basically, I wanted to live around people who look like me. Now, when I went to Ghana, almost everybody in Ghana, it's different now, but when I went in 2019, almost everybody in Ghana was dark complected, dark skin, brown skin. I was always the only light skinned person. But they didn't make me feel bad. They still accepted me. They still said welcome home. And they never called me O'Bruni. O'Bruni is white person. They never called me that because at the time I think I had an afro, and they could look at me and tell I'm black. They know they can tell I'm black. But maybe they thought that I was somewhere, when they knew I was from America. But they never treated me no kind of way. But I personally wanted to live around people who looked like me. And the main people on a continent that I look like, instead of look like me, but I look like them, is the Southern Africans and the East Africans. I look more East African or Southern African. So I wanted to be in one of those areas because I literally want to blend in. I literally wanted, this was even before I got to Tanzania, I wanted it to be like if somebody was to look at me, they would think I was from that country. That's where I wanted to live. So it wasn't Ghana, which I thought I was going to go back to Ghana. But when I went back, I went to Ghana, stayed for 2 weeks, and then I went back to the States, and I was working in Colorado. And then I was at work, and I was making my next plan to visit another country because I was going to try to do something in Ghana, but actually I was going to try to do a land project, and I'm glad I didn't because the way things are going with land situations, I probably would have lost my money, but nobody ever called me back. So I took the money and I booked a trip to South Africa. And I was going to go to South Africa because everybody was telling me I had made friends on Facebook with a lot of continental Africans because I knew I was coming to move. I knew I was going to move to Africa. So I was making all these continental African friends. And the South Africans kept saying that I look like them. They kept telling me, you look just like the Xhosa. So I started researching the Xhosa there in Eastern Cape. And when I looked at them, my spirit resonated with them. I'm like, oh, those are my people. Those are my people. I look just like them. So I had planned a trip to South Africa. Salama, awakening soul, all is well. So, okay, Brule, you said your DNA has Ghana and Tanzania. So I was like, I'm gonna go to South Africa because I'm gonna go to Eastern Cape because that's where the Xhosa are, and that's who my spirit was resonating with. Because I was looking at their videos, and I was looking at what they look like. I said, they look like my cut. They look like I could be related to them. I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be. So I wanted to be in the in an environment or in a community where I look like everybody. So of course I have to learn the language, but it would be easier for them to accept me if I look like them. That's how I felt, right? So so I was going to go to South Africa to Eastern Cape, but COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, my flight kept being canceled, and then that's when the Black people in America was watching Magufuli at the time, and he was speaking Swahili, but people was interpreting what he was saying, and he was against the jab, and he was like no, and he wasn't closing his country down. That's why I said I want to go there. So I called the airline. It was Qatar, and I asked them if they could change my flight from South Africa to Tanzania because it's the only country open. And I was trying. Family, I was ready to leave America. This was during COVID time. I left in July. I was so ready to go because I was thinking people gonna die here. A lot of people gonna die. And so I wanted to get out because I didn't feel, first of all, I felt like America was under judgment. That's what the scripture is saying. And people don't believe it, but I just felt like America was under judgment and she was going down. She was about to fall. Babylon is falling. She was about to crash and burn. I was like, I felt urgent. I felt like I got to get out before something happened to me. And then COVID was happening. And I was like, that was new. It was like they were saying all these people in China was dying. I said, oh, I got to get out of here because these people are going to be dying over here. So I wanted to go to Tanzania because the country was open. COVID wasn't there. The president was like, it ain't no COVID. That's what I wanted to be because I agreed with him. I just wanted to be somewhere safe. And I didn't feel safe in America. I didn't feel like I was going to be safe. I felt like I was going to probably get sick, or I didn't think I was going to, I felt like I needed to leave urgently. That's just what I felt. So I went to Tanzania. I didn't know T. Shillings. I didn't know Kiswahili. I didn't know nothing. I just knew Magufuli and what he was saying. I heard that it was a peaceful country, though. I did hear that because I did look out to see if it was like war torn or fight, any kind of fighting and stuff. It was none of that going on, and it was like one of the most peaceful countries on the continent. So I was like, I'm going there, and so that's how I ended up coming to Tanzania and learning everything. I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know Mambo. Mambo was, what's up? Hi. I didn't know nothing. But the good thing is it was a brother that I was friends with in South Africa. Well, I had friends online. It's a brother I was friends with in South Africa. He had a friend here in Tanzania that he connected me with and said, this brother will help you there, right? The brother that he connected me with is still my good friend to this day. He didn't know that much English, but he met me at the airport. I booked my own hotel. I did all that online. So I booked my flight and I booked my own hotel there. And I got a good rate, but the hotel I booked was in a local area and they don't speak no English. And I did not know when I first got there, I didn't know what area to be in. Now I know that most foreigners or most international people are around the peninsula, and it's like 40 minutes from the airport. I found a place that was like 10 minutes or 15 minutes from the airport because I was thinking when the country's open, I'm going to go to South Africa. That's why I was staying close to the airport. But where I was staying was local area, and hardly nobody could speak English. So the good thing is the guy met me at the airport. He took me to my hotel. He checked me in. He gave them his number and said, call me if she need anything. And I stayed there for 2 weeks and I learned so much, y'all. I learned so much. Nobody could understand me. And but they were so nice. They treated me so special. They washed my clothes. They cleaned my room every day. They had a buffet breakfast. Their food is good. They food so fresh here, family. The food on the continent is so fresh. Their breakfast was fresh fruit every morning. That was a complimentary breakfast. They had fresh pineapples and mangoes, fresh fruit. They had like they do ginger tea and they do masala tea. It's like a tea with milk. Their stuff is fire. Like, and their breakfast food is like they look like ramen noodles. That's what they eat for breakfast, but they have vegetables in it. And they had beans for breakfast. They had sweet potatoes. Like they eat stuff, certain things for breakfast here that we don't, but it was all good and fresh food. I ate good. They fed me so good. Everything was fresh. The food is fresh every day. That food was so good, y'all. That's the best food I think I ever had because in America, the food ain't fresh like that. And so I had a good experience, even though nobody understood. Nobody understood what I was saying. I would call for food. I would call room service for food. As soon as he pick up the phone, I'd be like, "Hello, can you?" They hang up the phone, and they'll just send the same food that the guy that brought me to the hotel. He ordered food for me one time. They would just send the same plate, the same food to me every day because I couldn't speak. They didn't understand me. And then I had to learn, get a translate app. Nobody, see, when I came, I didn't have no consultations. I didn't have nobody to call because nobody was here in Dar when I got here. We had traveling sister, but she was in Arusha. So, but when I came, was nobody in Dar yet. So I couldn't do a consultation. So I didn't know Translate app. Like I tell people, you can get the Translate app and then you can communicate with people through the app. You get the Uber, you get the this app. That I didn't have none of those apps. So I had to find out on my own. But then once I found out, I start sharing information with people who consult with me. Place of refuge for the Hi, Noel. Okay, welcome. It says Tanzania was founded as a place of refuge for the exiled and those those fleeing oppression. Thus, it was called City of Peace. Most don't know this. Wow, Noel. Wow, that's what Tanzania was for me. Noel said, I'll repeat it. Tanzania was founded as a place of refuge for the exiled and those fleeing oppression. Thus, it was called the City of Peace. Most don't know this. Wow. Wow. I felt that. Noah, I literally felt that. When I came here, I was like, this place is beautiful. Like, yes. And look, I didn't speak Swahili. I didn't know T. Shillings. I didn't know nothing. And I had to learn all that. But everybody I encountered, they were so nice to me. When I say they was nice to me, family, I was telling people, it's like I never been treated this beautiful in my life. Like my own family don't even treat me this nice. The way Tanzanians treat me, my own flesh and blood family do not treat me as good as Tanzanians treat me. Family. Yes, and that is absolutely right. Yes. When I would go places, well, okay, so when I first got here, so the brother would come and take me like he would come twice a week and I would pay him to come. He would take me to ATMs. He would take me to the get whatever I need to the markets. He would take me. I was trying to find head wraps so I could cover my hair. So he took me to a market. And what I did was I would just walk with him and hold like his arm because it was a market with so many people. And I would just walk behind him and hold the back of his arm. And I wouldn't say nothing. And everybody they didn't even know. They did not even know that I was not Tanzanian. They did not know until they tried to say something to me, or he had to tell them that I was not Tanzanian. He had to say Americani, Americani. He had to tell them I was from America. And they say, oh, Karibu. They all said the same thing. They'll be like, oh, Karibu. That's welcome everywhere. And and all the BBs are the grandmothers. All the BBs would be talking to me, and I'd just be standing there like this. Yo, I just be standing there like this. I couldn't say nothing because I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to say nothing, right? And so the brother that was with me, the Tanzanian brother that was with me, he said, say mambo. He would treat me like a baby. He just say mambo. And I say, mambo. So that's kind of how I was starting to learn how to greet people. Mambo, habari. Like that's how I learned slowly. That's the energy you feel when you get to TZ Safety, a place of healing. Yes, that's right, Noel. You do. And so, y'all, when I say they treated me so good, like I can't even describe. They would give me like when we walk, they would let me, he would be getting stuff and I would sit there. They would give me their seats. They treat me so special, y'all. I'm not lying. Tanzanians treat me so special. And I wanted that. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. I never got that in America, family. I never got the love and the appreciation and the treatment that Tanzanians treat that what they do for me. I never felt that in America. I don't even feel that from my own family, my own flesh and blood. Because you know, in America, some of our families are not close like that. And Tanzania is just so beautiful people. They would treat me so good, y'all. I am not lying. They're beautiful people. That's the energy you feel when you get to TZ. Say that's right. As retired Army, Tanzania is my destination. Yes. Wonder how easy is it to purchase land? Don Blake. Yes, it's not that easy, Don. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you have to, because see, as a foreigner, you have to be an investor to acquire land. So you have to either be an investor over a certain amount of money in like a local company here that you know, then you can do something like that, or you have to create a company or business like I did. You have to create your own business, partner with the local is what I recommend because it'll be the most efficient. It'll be the less expensive, I say, way to do it. So you partner with a local, create a company, and then under your company, you can acquire land. So you acquiring the land as an investment, as an investor. So when you have a company, you create the business, you acquire land, you have to have a business office. So you acquire land for your company, and then you can do business, whether you want to do Airbnbs, you want to do rentals, you want to do, you know, farming, you want to do agriculture, whatever you want to do. You have to do it that way, and you have to do it through the right steps, because if you go out of order and you don't do it the right way, then you could lose out. You could lose your money. You could be, you know, things might not work out. You got to make sure you get an attorney. You can't do it on your own. First of all, this is a different land from where you are. I'm not going to say foreign because if you are Afro descendant, then this is your home because you're African, but you have a different passport, so you consider a foreigner. So you don't speak the language, all that stuff. So you have to do everything the right way. You have to have an attorney and do things the right way if you don't want to lose your money, basically. So it's not so easy for a foreigner or outsider to come in and do that here because you just can't do that. I feel like it's anywhere in the continent. You gotta do it the right. You gotta have an attorney. And you got to set things up the right way. You can't skip a step and think you're going to get land and then try to go back and do a business. That's going to be very difficult. Some people try to do that. They try to think they're going to get land and then create. No, you got to create the business first. Make sure all that's set up first the right way. Everything is completed. Then the next step, look for land, acquire land under the business, because your land that you purchase has to be under the tax ID for the company. You can't just do all willy-nilly anything any kind of way. It's not going to work out. So you have to follow certain steps, and it's not that easy, but it can be done. Yes, Noel. Yes. How many hours do Tanzanians work a day? They don't work like that, Webster. It's not like that. They don't, you know, some of them have jobs, you know, it just depends. Some of them have jobs, but a lot of them are entrepreneurs. So they may work long hours, but they're working for their own self. So if they selling, they don't only work like how we do 9 to 5 like that in the States. Some of them work for, you know, companies where they have that
but it's not a 9 to 5. Their hours are different. So it's like a different world. It's more, you see more entrepreneurs here than people working, because it's not a lot of jobs. So a lot of people don't have jobs, but they can sell things. They can fix things. So they may be a fundi, that's like a mechanic. So they might specialize in fixing lights. So, if you need lights installed, or if you need like your lights fixed or something, you pay a fundi who will come and work on it. So some of those jobs are like that. It's like their skills, they use their skills to work. Either they fixing stuff, they repairing stuff, they working on your refrigerator, they doing your TV. So whatever skills they have, they use those skills to work. So it's not like in America, like 9 to 5 and all that stuff. It's different. So it's just a different world. But it's not a lot of jobs here. So you're not going to see a lot of people working jobs. It's not a lot. I mean, that's what a lot of the foreigners come here. That's what we can do to help. When we come, we become like investors. And so we can create businesses or companies, so we can create jobs for them, or even just coming here as a person from another country. You might need, it's simple. You might need like somebody of a groundsman you might rent a house and you might want a groundsman to come and tend to your yard, or cut your trees, or go shopping for you. You might want a sister to shop for you, to cook for you. You might want somebody to wash your clothes. So these are jobs that we create, that's a job for somebody. So anything that we might need, that's a job for somebody, because it's not a lot of jobs here. So that's why the foreigners, when they come, it's good to be investors, where you create businesses, because you create jobs for locals. It's a lot of young people that went to college and graduated from the University of Dar or different schools. They have some really good schools in Morogoro. They need jobs, and it's not a lot of jobs. So there should be companies that foreigners that come create businesses, or companies, or investors, where they create jobs for locals. For me, I have two partners, and they're directors. And if I need them to do something, I pay them to do something. They have their own lives, their own things that they work with me, but they got other things going on. But if I need them to do something, I will pay them to do whatever I need to have done. So that's kind of how it works here. It's not like the US with this 9 to 5 and 8 to 4 and these jobs. It's not a lot of jobs here. They got to have, they survive in, it's the poverty rate is up there. People live on a daily wage. They live on a daily wage, but that's why foreign investment is really good. That's why tourism is good. That's why foreign investors coming in is really good, because you create jobs for the Tanzanians. You create jobs. That's why they welcome foreign investors, because you create jobs. It's good to work with locals and partner with locals in your company, because this is their country. You don't speak the language, and business is done differently. You need them to do your business stuff. Go to the business office, go to the tax office, all that. They don't be speaking English over there. Not that they don't know it, but it's best to send a local to handle stuff for you in the business office, in the tax office, all these different offices, because it's their country. And it's good to use a local that, like for example, University of Dar student, they graduated, they're college educated. You could use them as the manager. They could be a manager for your company. You create your company, they could be one of the directors and be the manager. They'll be the director, but they'll go to the different business offices for you and talk as a representative for your company, and handle certain things at the bank, at the tax office, at the business office for this, or looking at stuff you want to buy, going with you to get equipment that you might need, all kind of stuff. So that's why it's good to partner with them, because you're going to need them anyway. You can't handle stuff. You can't handle business here without a local. You cannot do it. And I think that's all across Africa, even if they speak English. So even if you go to Kenya or you go to Ghana, or whatever, where they speak English, it's still good to have a local business partner to handle the business stuff for you. You can be there, but then because it's their country and they know how things operate, it don't operate nothing like America. Totally nothing like America. Business is done nothing like America. I'm learning all new stuff about business here, and it's nothing like America. Absolutely nothing. The way taxes are done, nothing. It's totally different. It's like a totally different world. So you do need a local to help you navigate. And of course, an attorney who gives you all the information and tells you how to do certain things, and they do things for you. I have a really good attorney that has taught me a lot. I know a lot because he has taught me a lot about taxes, about business, how we're supposed to do this and that, and business has to have this and that and this. Like he's taught me everything. And not only am I allowing him to just do it, I'm asking questions so I can learn how things are to be done. So when I do consultations with people and they want to create a company, then I can tell them how the process is, the steps that they take. Of course, they meet with the attorney and he's going to give them also the in-depth, stuff for their particular type of business that they want to create, because every process is different also based on the type of company that you want to create. So if you're doing agriculture, farming, all that's different. That's going to be different process from manufacturer. Whatever business that you want to create, it's going to be a different process for each one, because each company has its own business license, a different license. So it's not just a general process for everybody. It's based on the type of business or company that you want to create. And it's important to know these things. It's important to have a local that can, represent your company, and an attorney that's legit, a real attorney, not a fake one. Because you can have some people that's going to say they're attorney and not be telling the truth. So it's good to use somebody used that has success with what you want to do, a business, land, whatever, successful. So, but yeah, for me, I wouldn't give advice on the land process yet, because I'm still in the process. I haven't completed the purchasing of the land process. I'm still in that process, because I keep thinking that I found something that I like, and I thought I had found the piece of land that I really like, but something about it, like it was just some red flags. And if I see any red flags, I will stop the process. I won't even go no further. And so some people are not like that. They go, Don Blake, you're welcome. They go full-fledged, because they want it so badly. They don't pay attention to red flags. I pay attention to every little red flag when it comes to land, because I know it's not easy, and I know it could be tricky, right? So I don't ignore little stuff. And so I thought I had one situation with land, but it didn't work out because something wasn't right with the company that I was going to purchase the land from. Something wasn't right with the tax stuff. So that's also something that if you try to get land from a company, and I got a company, so that's another thing I was thinking, like, why am I trying to get land from a company? I need to be trying to get land from an individual instead of a company, because if the company don't pay their taxes and things ain't right with their taxes, they can't give you no paperwork. So I had to learn that. That's something new I just learned. I'm like, okay, so I know I don't want to do it that way. So it's different things that you learn along the way. That's why it's good not to rush too fast, to be trying to rush and hurry up. You have to be patient, take your time, pray about it, think about it, look at it, rethink it, look at everything. Look at the people that's talking to you, the person that's selling it to you. See if he's shifty, if he's shady, if he's slick. You got to look at everything. So, but it's possible, but take your time. Don't rush. I've been here 5 years and I still haven't acquired. I was saying I wanted to do this back in 2021 when I registered my business. I haven't done it yet because, I didn't feel like I was ready at first, because it was just too much it was a lot going on with the process, and I didn't want to rush, and I want to take my time and learn one step at a time. So as I'm going through the process, I will know what I'm doing. I don't want to rush through everything and not pay attention. And then I don't know what I did. If somebody come and be like, we need to double check or whatever, I can't say, okay, I did this step, this step, this step, because I just didn't pay attention. I let somebody else do everything. And then I don't know what the steps are. I don't know what I need to know. That's just how I am. I need to know how things are done before I do. I need to know, okay, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this. I need to know that. And that's what I had to do with my company. I needed to know everything. I needed to know, okay, the first step, I need to do this. I need to get this license. I need to do this. Okay, now I need to, at the tax office, I need this TIN number. I need this. I need to get my business license. I needed to know every single step, because I need to know, because it's my company, it's money I'm paying. So I want to know everything. I can't just let an attorney do everything and not know what's going on. That's just how I do things. So I'm slow with it, but I'd rather be slow than not do it right, not make sure that's done correctly and lose all my money. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. And so I'm still looking to acquire land, and more than ever now, because of this situation that just occurred. I'm trying to, because the area I'm looking at is outside, it's in another area outside of these cities. It's in a totally another area. And I think that area that I'm looking at didn't have no issues with none of this stuff that we went through in Dar. It didn't have no issues. So, because I know some people in that area, and that's the area I want to be in when I'm acquiring land, and it's cheaper. The land in that area is cheaper than here in Dar. Dar land is really expensive because it's more international people. But when you start leaving and going to other places, the land is cheaper. So that's another thing. I don't want to have to pay a lot for land, because I don't have to. I don't have to be in Dar. I could be out, because I know enough Swahili to not have to be in Dar. It's not a rural area like I'm in the off, I'm not off grid or anything. It's just in another city. It's in a smaller city that's not as cosmopolitan or not as popular as Dar, Arusha, and Mbeya. Tanzania is massive. There are a lot of different cities in Tanzania. So yeah, that's kind of what I think I got fire under me now, because I'm like, after this, I'm like, yeah, I need to get something set up for real. Because after this, yeah, after what just happened, I need to have something set up for some land. So yeah, don't forget to thumbs up the stream. We're talking about all kind of stuff. You're very welcome, everyone. Karibu Sana. I'm happy to be back online. It took me a minute to get back excited about being online. After seeing everything that's going on, I was feeling kind of down. Yeah, I was feeling kind of down, because Tanzania is my very special place of safety and peace and freedom and everything. And so to see so much going on, I was just feeling kind of sad. I was feeling kind of down. I didn't want to get online being like down, like a Debbie Downer or whatever. But I like to be like upbeat and happy when I do my videos and when I do my streams to, encourage people. So I just wasn't in my mood. My disposition was kind of downtrodden. I was feeling down. I was feeling sad about everything that's going on, So, but I'm feeling better. I still feel sad. I still be praying for the country. I feel like this country is like my home. Like, I love Tanzania so much, and I just feel so bad about everything. I feel sad, So I just been praying for Tanzania. I'm like, Father, help. That's all I can say. I'm like, because I don't really know what's going on. I don't be in this stuff. But I see online what's going on. And I'm like, Father, help, please help. Because this is such a beautiful country. Such a beautiful country. Such peaceful and everything. And yeah, I was feeling kind of sad. But I was safe. I just was feeling down. It took me a minute to get my spirits, back up. I was feeling down. My heart was going out for, lives lost and stuff. So yeah, I'm real sensitive when it comes to stuff like that. I be feeling sad about stuff like that. I be feeling sad about stuff like that's going on in America. I be feeling sad about stuff. And so it really affects me. It really affects me when things happen to our good people. When things happen to our people's bodies being found in the bayous and people being hung from trees and truck drivers being like that stuff it affects me. Like I be feeling so down about that. So I be really having to pray about that because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, this is human lives we're talking about. Like people just don't value people don't value human lives. Like these human lives are precious and our Father created them. It's very precious and special, but people don't see human beings like that. Sometimes it's hard for me to understand the wicked, demonic, satanic mindset of people that can hurt and harm people for no reason. Like so sometimes I be down about it, but I can't do nothing about it. Hey, Jamal Watkins. You're welcome. I will keep it up. And I said that I wasn't going to really, right now, I wasn't going to encourage resettling or repatriating and doing business right now until everything calms down. But I will be doing travel consultations. But if you want to talk about that, I will do that. But I just feel like right now people need to wait for a second. People need to wait for a minute until let things get resolved before, some people are right who've been here, they have confidence and they like, I'm still coming, you know what I mean? But I'm just like, just take your time, just wait. And because you got, we want to make sure everything is calm and everything. I'm an Asian, Korean, American. Do people in Tanzania treat Asians like whites? Yeah, they do. But they don't treat, Tanzanians are nice to everybody. Tanzanians are very welcoming and they love white people. They love all different types of people. Tanzanians they love everybody. They love Black people and white. They love everybody. They're fair. Tanzanians are very fair with treatment. They don't mistreat anybody. They're very nice. Very nice. They might call you a Mzungu though. They might call you a Mzungu, like white or sometimes a foreigner, they may call you Mzungu, but that's just what they call like foreigners or sometimes white people or whatever. Sometimes they call some of us that, I haven't really got called that in a long time. I think it's for me because I'm learning more Swahili for me and learning Swahili. And I look a lot like some of the tribes here. I've been told I look like the Mchaga tribe and the Sukumu tribe. So the Sukumu tribe is one of the largest Bantu tribes here. And I've been told that I look like them. I saw some of their pictures and I do look a lot like them. And they're in Mwanza. And then the Mchaga tribe is in Kilimanjaro, Moshi, at the foothills of Kilimanjaro. So I kind of look like them. And then when I'm speaking Swahili, that's probably why they haven't really been calling me Mzungu. I haven't really gotten that in a while. I do make sure I speak Swahili though. I try to, try to get all my Swahili lessons in when I'm around them. But they don't always know. They don't always know that I'm from America. If they see that I don't speak Swahili as much. They'll usually think I'm from like South Africa. So they'll say, "Are you from Southern Africa?" They'll think I'm from South Africa, which is better than them thinking I'm from America. Believe me, it's better for me. It's better for me for them to think I'm from Southern Africa or somewhere in the southern part of Africa than America. Because if they think you're from America, they're gonna think you rich. You're gonna get all the high prices. They're gonna be nice to you, but they're gonna charge you double, triple, quadruple the price. If they think you from America, they know you from America, you're gonna get the high price. Unless they see you and you've been around it, you've been like shopping with them for a while, and then you speak in Swahili, then they'll probably give you like the local price. But yeah, Tanzanians are beautiful people. I love Tanzanians. I feel like this is where my DNA is. I feel like I probably am from one of these tribes, because Tanzania has like over 100 tribes. I think I'm from one of these tribes because I feel so at home here. It's just unreal. Like I would take my chances more, and I know they got things going on, but I think I take my chances more with Tanzania than I would in America. I feel safer in Tanzania, even with this whole thing that went on with the election. I feel safer here than I do in America, because at least here we know what to do. We know to lay low. We know to stay in the house. We know to mind our own business. Like, we know what to do to be safe. But in America, you don't know. It's like you don't. It's nothing you can really do to be safe, because everybody has guns, and it's just, then you got all these white supremacists, race soldiers that don't like black. Like, it's just unsafe. It's just flat out unsafe. It's not safe in America. I feel safer here in Tanzania. Yes, there are a lot of Christians here. It's like, I think it's divided. It's like half Christian and half Muslim. Half Christians and half Muslims, but they get along very well. They get along very well. I think they got Catholics here too. Yeah, they got Catholics, Christians, and they have Muslims. But they get along very well. They get along very well here. Yeah. So we got 13 people in the room. Thank you so much for taking the time to jump in the stream. Thumbs up. Don't forget to thumbs up the live stream. I'm super happy to be back online talking to my people. This is the most people that have jumped into my live. I guess they're trying to check on me because I was out for the count. I was offline for 7 days straight. I was like, man. Asian daughters. They had no. They don't have Asian. They have more Arab. Here in Tanzania, it's more Tanzanian Africans, Arabs, and Indians. Indians, Arabs, and Tanzanians, and Africans mainly. They have some Asians here, but they are like, they work on like the construction. They're building the infrastructure. They work on infrastructure. They got like restaurants, and they have like stores, but they're not like doctors and all that stuff. They're not like the medical professionals or they're not the medical. I think the Arabs and the Indians are more doing that more. You might feel more, Kim, you might feel more comfortable in an Asian country, to be honest, just so you won't. But there are a lot of Asians here now. There are a lot of Asians here doing business though, but they're just not. You'll see them around. So you won't be so, so you won't be without a community. It's a community of Asian. I see them around, but they just only do certain companies. Like, they have certain businesses, certain store. They have a lot of stores. They doing like the infrastructure building, stuff like that. They only in certain areas. Yes. Shalom, Jamal Watkins. Y'all bless you too. Yep. So yeah, that's why I would take Tanzania over America any day. I would definitely take Tanzania. I just I feel comfortable I feel more comfortable in my skin here. Like I just feel free. Like I feel like I could walk. Of course, I have to cover my hair. Y'all know I gotta cover my head now. I gotta blend in. You know, you gotta consider that this is a modest country, and it's it's modest. It has Christians and Muslims, and that's modest. The women dress modest for the most part. You have some Western styles here, but majority of them are culturally modest. They cover their body, they cover their hair. The Muslims do the hijab, and the Christians cover. So it's modest. So if that's something that you can, as a woman, is I feel like the men are okay with everything, but it's the women that have the hardest time trying to adjust to the dress code and stuff. Like nobody wearing no bikinis at no beach unless you on a resort, you going to Zanzibar somewhere. But if you on the mainland, you don't see nobody in no bikinis unless you at a resort. But they have a lot of public beaches here, and yeah, the locals they don't wear no bikini. They don't show the body, they cover. So even if they go to the beach and put their feet in the water or whatever, they don't wear bathing suits. And if they do, they cover. So if you're a woman, you know, you got to know that, because you can't do the sexiness with the nakedness, and that's not going to work here. It's not going to work here. You might have to try Kenya. You might have to try Ghana if you want to do the nakedness. South Africa somewhere, but here, yeah, the nakedness ain't going to really fly. It's not going to fly here. Which makes it a very good country to raise children in. You don't have to worry about your children seeing naked people. You don't have to worry about that. So it's a good country to raise children in. Very conservative and modest, and very it's a good place to raise children. I mean, yeah. Could I be better? It depends on if they need your skills. You got to go online and see if it's a skill that they need. Some countries have like a list of professionals that they will pay you for, like that you can work here. I don't think you can't be just a basic medical person that a Tanzanian can do. You have to have like a specialized skill that you bring that's different, something that Tanzanians can't do, because there's no jobs here. So you wouldn't, if you wanted to work in the medical field somewhere, you would have to be specialized in a special skill that just any Tanzanian couldn't do. And even if you did, they would have to have an opening for that skill. So you have to go online and see what type of skills are they looking for that a Tanzanian does not have. And you would be, one that they would probably, and then of course you wouldn't get paid what you would get paid in the West. You wouldn't get paid half as much as you get paid in the West. So it's always best to possibly create a business or do something, that you can make money online or something. Some kind of company here or online, something. You will make more money like that than trying to work a job here, because you're not going to make that much money. I think teachers are You could probably get a job as a teacher because you would be like, if you're a teacher in America, you can get a job here as a teaching international teacher at the end. They have an international school, and you could probably get a job at the international school. If you're a teacher, already certified teacher in America, you could probably get a job here as in an international school and work there. You probably won't make as much, but you could still, you know, you could probably be a teacher because you can teach English. You can teach your other skills. You can teach whatever you teach in the West to an international school because you speak English. And raise them in a good Christian church. Yes, Webster, exactly. That's why it's so good here. This country, it would be a good country to raise children in because you don't have to worry about, inappropriate stuff. You don't have to worry about naked people walking around your children here, pedophiles walking around. They love children here. You ain't got to worry about the LGBTQ stuff going on. It's probably everywhere, but it's not legal. It's illegal. Like you ain't got to worry about none of that here. Out. When I say outward, like outward for your kids to see, and you want your kid to be raised decently, then this is a good place. Christians here, Muslims here, they have a standard. That's what I like here too. They have a standard here. Like the Muslims, you see them, they be dressed so nice and neat and clean. They be having on their garb. They be looking so nice. They having a long outfits they be wearing with their hats. And then you see the Christians, they be dressed nice. And then you see the women, they be dressed, dresses. They wear dresses all the time. Like the environment is very good. It's a good environment to raise kids in. Good environment to raise children in. So I guess I will end this stream. I've been on here for a couple of hours. I just wanted to do this for you so you can lay eyes on me. All is well here. Farrakhan, one of my favorite teachers. You like Farrakhan? Yeah, they get along really good over here, but everybody be looking like I don't know. I just like this country. I like everything about this country. I like the people. I like their style. I like how they act, how they dress. Their personality is the people are very laid back and they mellow, they low key. Yeah, as you can see, they'll rise up. If they pushed in the corner, they will rise up. But for the most part, they're kind and mild mannered, and they're very kind, mild mannered, and respectful and everything. Very respectful to elders. Very respectful. You welcome, Don Blake. Are you planning on traveling to neighboring? Awakening Soul. You know what? I think I'm gonna stay put right now because things is popping off all over everywhere. Even in Kenya, they still got some things they got going on. So everybody got some stuff going on. So I think I'm gonna stay put for a minute because I'm trying to work on a project and I need to focus on trying to do that because the project I'm working on and the land project I'm working on is outside of the city. And I feel like if I get out further, then I won't be impacted by anything that goes on in the city areas. That's true, Webster. That's true. So and then also Awakening Soul, I was thinking about that because I was kind of scared. I was like, do I need to be leaving? What I need to be doing? But then I was thinking, okay, you've been here for 5 years. And then I was thinking, I don't need to be hitting these borders because I might be trying to go to a country and they might looking at me crazy because of what the POTUS is doing to different countries. These people don't like him. And so I don't want to be going that's another thing we got to consider as Black Americans, African Americans, or any American. When we leave an American going to these different places, the POTUS is making enemies of these different countries. And he's falling out with all these different countries, threatening all these. So we don't know when we get to these different borders if they're going to be looking at us side eye, or if they're going to be like, we don't want you to come in because we're going to take it out on you because your president's acting a fool. So I don't want to be caught in nobody's border trying to get in. They mad at him and they take it out on me. That's another thing we got to consider. That's why it's kind of good to stay put if you somewhere, but just come out of America if you can. But just if you get in somewhere, stay put if you can, because you might be trying to go somewhere and they might, you don't know what might happen at these borders because of what the president is doing. We got to consider that. He's making bad blood all across the world with all these different countries. Right now, he's talking noise about South Africa. He's talking noise and mess with Nigeria. Like, you don't know. He's doing all kind of stuff with different countries. And you've been to try to go into somebody's country and they see that passport and they sitting up there looking at you out the side of their eye, looking at you upside the head. Now, I don't want to be in that position. So I think I'm going to stay put. Yeah, that's something we got to consider too. It'll be residential. Well, yeah, awakening. So it'll be like residential, because with the farming, it's going to take a lot of work. And I don't know if I want to hire people right then and there to do all that. And I don't want to be doing all that. So it'll possibly be like, it'll probably be like commercial. It'll probably be like a small commercial instead of, because if you do residential, then residential is like living with in like a community, and I don't know if I want to do that. So you can do farming, you can do commercial, or you can do residential. So it'll be kind of like, I think it'll be more like commercial, in that commercial is like a business. You can run a business there. Because in the residential, I was going to do residential, but then when I start looking at the residential areas, a lot of the residential areas are far out from like a little city areas because people live there. I don't want to be in a residential area with a bunch of locals like that. I'd rather be in a commercial area or even a farming area. If I could find a small enough piece of land, because I don't want to do no big, massive project. And so my main thing is acquiring the land to put my company on. But when you put your company, because your business have to have a physical address. So instead of you leasing or renting from a local, because you don't have land, you acquire the land and put your business on that land, do business out that land, but you can live off of that land. So you can live there and do business out of there. So you have kind of like that option to do farming, residential, or commercial. But I saw some residential areas and I'm like, yeah, no. Because when you talking residential, you talking living in an area around other people. I don't want to do that, because I saw some areas and I didn't really like that. So I think I'll do either commercial or farming land for the business. Farming, very small. Yes, yeah, that might, yeah, on a small scale. Yeah, require a few. Yes, that's exactly what I would do if the price was right. Because I noticed when I was looking at some of the land, the farming land was cheaper. I'm like, why is the farming land? Because they're trying to encourage people to do farming. But when you do farming, you got to be able to pay people to do that stuff. And so you got to base it on your resources and the money you have. If you don't pay somebody, it got to be done. So you got to do it. And
don't know if I'm trying to be doing that like that right now. So that's why I was like, I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of questions that you have to consider. And then you're looking at different places. You got to figure out the location and how close it is, how close your location is where you are to the city, that city area. You don't want to be too far out because you still got to be able to get supplies. You got to be able to get stuff you need. So it's different things you got to consider when you're looking for land. Yeah. So that's why it's taking me a minute, because I'm considering all these things, you know, and for me, it's not going to just be me. So I got other people. I got other Americans that it's not going to just be me, put it that way. So it's not just going to be me by myself doing this. No, I got other people that's going to be with me. And that's because family, we got to move like that. We got to move like that. When we living outside of America and we doing things, we can't just do stuff by ourselves. I can't just do stuff by myself, but I have to have some other Americans with me. Y'all, we got to know that we can't do stuff by, it's not best to do that, especially as a woman. When you're doing business and you're doing, well, business is okay, but when you're talking about acquiring land and all this, you can't do that by yourself. You can, it could be your business and you can acquire land, but you need to have some of your brothers and sisters with you. They need to be with you. You might have to make sure you have some room. You make sure you have some room for somebody else, another sister, whatever, a brother. Not that I'm saying if you ain't married to live together or something like that, but I'm saying you need to have somebody else besides yourself when you do stuff like that in a country that's not your home. For a safety, security thing too, we need to do things grouping together and doing things. I've learned that also being here. If you're a man, that's different. But when you're a woman, you need some other people with you. It's not wise to try to do some kind of project, land and all that stuff by yourself. You need somebody there. Because even if you hire a security person, that's still a man and you're a woman. You need some people with you, another sister, 2 other sisters, a family member, a brother, a cousin. You need somebody there with you. It's just safety for safety reasons. Some people don't think about stuff like that, but yeah, something you need to think about, because what if something like what happened pop off and you over there? You need other people with you for safety reasons. So, all right. So I guess I'll end this live. And I will see you guys in the next live. I'll do another one in the next couple of days, maybe, just to chit chat with you. I feel so much better. My spirits have been lifted having this conversation with my brothers and sisters in the West. I mean, sometimes we're here and everybody's speaking Swahili. We're around each other, but sometimes we do miss chatting in English with a group of people. We don't always get that all the time. So these are the times that I like talking and sharing and answering questions for people that are interested in leaving America, maybe, or if you are already out and you're already here, or you're in another country and you plan on coming. Yeah, it's still a beautiful country to visit. Take your time in whatever you decide to do, but you can at least come visit and get that 90 days to visit and check it out. See how the temperature is for you. See what you think. And then make your decision from that point. You could either consider getting a residency permit if you fit any of those requirements to get one, or you can go visit Kenya right next door. A lot of people, a couple of the Black Americans went over there during the elections. They went over there and kind of laid low there
they just left altogether and went over there, and then they came back over here. So some people do that. You can do that. There are 6 countries that border Tanzania. If you want to go to other countries, you can go to those other countries. They have a bus that goes there, and lay low until things settle, and then come back or whatever. If you don't like it here, try Kenya. Some people go to Kenya. Some people go to Rwanda. Some people go to Uganda. Some people go to Zambia. Some people go to Malawi, Burundi. All those countries are bordering Tanzania. You're welcome, Awakening Soul. You're welcome. Yep. So, but we are well. Don't be worried about us over here in Tanzania. I know it look cray, but we minding our own Black business. We staying out of their stuff, and we just be, doing our own thing, working on our own projects, and being low key and walking in silence and private. Oh, let me say this before I get off there. I got my membership group, my membership community on YouTube. I am using that to have a community where we can share privately exclusive content about plans, some of the stuff I've been talking to you about maybe planning, doing little things together. And, the sentiment, sometimes we talk about stuff that we can't talk about publicly, as far as how we are moving. Because some stuff we got to talk to each other about things offline, right? So I'm using the membership community, and people do pay for that, but I'm using that as a private exclusive community where we can share stuff, like-minded people. There may be some people that are already here, we're talking, and people who want to come, and maybe we can talk about what we should be doing to prepare, so in case another situation comes up, what we should be doing that we can't share publicly for the whole world, because we got to learn to move in silence, because stealth-like, we got to move circumspectly, because y'all know everybody and their mama's watching publicly. And I also have a Facebook group called Beyond the Rivers of Kush. It's a private community as well. And in that group, we talk about, this is for people in America, and people in Africa. So there could be people in America who need each other and working, they got something happening in America, and they got to group together and help each other. Somebody got a farm, somebody got land, somebody got a car, somebody children hungry, something, anything can happen. And that group, we using it for that, as well as on the continent. So when this happened and I was off the internet, when it came back on, 2 places I was able to put a post before it went back down. I put a post on YouTube, the community tab, and I put a post in that group. It's 513 people in that group. And I said, well, it's a group of us in Tanzania. We fine. We laying low. We minding our own business, and everybody's fine here. We're eating. Everything is good. And the internet is down, and it went off. So I was even able to get a message to them so they can share with people. And then on the community tab, and I have 8,000 subscribers. So between those 2, the message got around. Okay, Wanda's okay. She said she with a group of Black American. They okay. So these groups are beneficial for stuff that might come up, emergencies like this that might come up. Because at the end of the day, family, we don't have nobody. We're good to see you too, Relay. We don't have nobody but each other. We are going to realize that as the days get harder, as things get pulled from us, as money's value drops, as stamps and EPTs and all this different EBT stamps and food stamps and all these stuff get taken from us. We are going to realize that we don't have anything but each other. Nobody is going to save us but each other. Within our community, we have everything we need. We got all the resources, all the money, all the land, all the food, all the skills, everything is in our community. We have to use it to help each other. So that's in America and that's in Africa, both places. So we got to learn to come together. We got to stop being petty with each other. We got to stop falling out, put that aside, because this is life and death stuff that we could experience, that we need each other. So I'm using that group in Facebook for that. It's private. So yes, I am screening for that group. Anybody can get in, and they start sound like ops or agents. They getting dropped out because this is important, dire circumstances that might come up for people. We can't have people in there arguing and acting a fool. And even when the membership, I know people ain't gonna act like that because they're paying. We can make plans maybe in the membership group. We could organize some things maybe in the membership, paid membership, exclusive group, because it's not for everybody, right? It's for like-minded people, and that they see the value in what I'm trying to bring, and they on the same page, then maybe they're going to pay for that to be in that group, and then we can chat about some things that we can try to do together, organize, whatever. I'm not making any promises, but I'm just saying, giving each other ideas of how we can take care of each other. Because after this 7 days and what we went through, family, we need that more than ever. Because if we wasn't together as a group here, people would have been running out of food. People would have been running out of water. Electricity could have been cut off if we didn't pull our resources together and help one another. I ain't no telling where some people will be. People got kids and stuff. So we need to talk seriously and think seriously about having a contingency plan for emergencies that might come up in whatever country you're in, whether you're in the States, whether you're on a continent, whatever, because we are everywhere. And we're everywhere on the continent. It's what, 700 of us just went to Burkina Faso and got residency. So we everywhere. So anyway, thank you so much. Don't forget to thumbs up. The community is very important. I realized that this week more than anything, family. To say it is one thing, but to have to experience it and think, I don't know what I would have done without our community. My electricity was running out. My water was running low. We shared food. Like, we talked every day. I wasn't sitting in here by myself, losing my mind without the internet. We was meeting every day outside. We had like picnics. We played games. Like, I don't know what I would have done without our people. And so it just reinforced the community is so important. And we have to hold on to each other because we all we got. We might have our ways. We might, everybody got their little things that they do that people don't like. But at the end of the day, it's survival. We need one another. And especially when we move outside of America, we need each other in America too, because everybody's against us. We don't have friends nowhere. Nobody like us. Y'all know that. We ain't like, we hated by everybody, and the scriptures say that. But it's for a reason. Not that we're not nice people, it's because we are special. But we know we got each other. If we don't have nobody else, we got each other. We got each other, have each other's back. Our children. We got children and grandkids and everything else that may need help from somebody. So we got to pull it together. We got to pull it together. So anyway, thank you so much, Noel. Oh, TC going dark was a tape of, yeah, EMP can do. It was like yes, Noel. It was like a test, and I learned a lot. And when I came out of that blackout, I said, oh, I need to be working on some stuff. And all of us were saying the same thing. We need, now that we see what we had to go through, we went through this for 7 days. Imagine it. What if we had, what if we would have had to go through this longer? We gotta have some stuff set up for stuff like this that might occur in different places. Because in America, our people going through it. It's divide and conquer. They're trying to divide us so they can pick us off one at a time. They're trying to starve people out, take away food and food subsidies and all that housing stuff. You might have to house your brother. You might not like your brother or sister, some children. You might not like it, but you might have to, or they might have to go in a FEMA camp and never be seen again. You might have to be the one to save people with just helping them with food. Children could be hungry. Somebody could be anything. We're going to have to take care of each other, family. It's just the bottom line. We're going to have to stop being selfish. The selfishness is going to have to go out the window. We're going to have to help each other, feed each other, take care of each other. We got to. Who else going to do it if we don't do it for each other? So we ain't got nobody else but each other. So thank you so much. And I guess I'll end this, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Thank you so much for taking the time to check me out, to talk to me, to see what I had going on. Thumbs it up, and I'll see you guys in the next
video or live. Shalom.